We've been busy these past few weeks and have another DevState video for you, showcasing the new features and mechanics that we're currently implementing. Now that a lot of the core mechanics are in the game, we realized that it was kind of important to let players know how it's all interconnected. With our new informative tutorial system, players can scroll through each section and read more about them in detail. This information is readily available at any time when on the main map by clicking on the I button. The information provided is not extremely verbose, but if you're ever stumped as to how something works, or the reasoning behind a particular mechanic, or its correlation with other mechanics, it helps to give the information section a gander. The first operational lead utilizing our dialogue system is now implemented. It's still not 100%, but it's getting there. This is essentially how all of the story elements will be displayed. These are branching dialogues with choices to make as well as challenges to overcome, be it a stat roll or a puzzle. Previously known as informants, case officers provide you with bundles of cases, which are referred to as caseloads. Each case officer offers a specific type of case. The caseloads are only available for a certain amount of time. If they are not accepted, then they expire, and you'll have to wait until the case officers offer a new caseload. We are experimenting with reputation loss when not accepting caseloads. Some team members think that would be too punishing, but again, it would be a great incentive for all those completionists out there. When caseloads are completed, reputation with the individual case officer is either gained or lost. As previously mentioned, reputation is defined for each individual case officer. The more caseloads that are completed for a particular case officer, the more potential reputation there is to gain. The individual case officer's reputation is directly correlated to their specific reward set. One of the biggest mechanics that we've recently added is how distance determines the total amount of action points required to send an agent to a location. Previously, regardless of the distance, it always cost 1 action point. Now, depending on the proximity, it can take between 1 and 3 action points. This may seem like a minor detail, but it really requires you to plan out your cases accordingly, and even plot out a planned course of action in order to optimize action point usage. When it comes to stat rolls, it is possible to get a critical success now. Luckily for the testers, we have yet to implement critical failures. Obtaining a critical success means that 2 6s have been rolled, and by doing so, the player is presented with optional bonus cards to choose from. With the addition of the training center as a location on the map, it gives players an opportunity to try out their skills at any time and prepare themselves for the various puzzles that are associated with cases. This is a simple and free way to hone those skills, so when you're faced with a puzzle, you'll be prepared. As each puzzle has 3 tiers of difficulty that are directly associated with a case tier difficulty, knowing what you're potentially up against from the get-go is a safe bet. With the addition of the side panel notification, you'll always be well informed of what's going on, whether it's an agent requesting your input, or them notifying you that they've completed a case, or are heading off. You'll get a notification on the upper right-hand side of the screen. We've completely revamped repossession cases. Although not completely fleshed out yet, repossession cases are now available in the current build. They're similar in nature to the presently available security cases. However, these actually have a few specific puzzles available, namely Hotwire and Lockpick. Even though all of our puzzles are done, some of them still need some love. We've been busy tweaking them and working on the balancing. As we previously mentioned, puzzles have 3 different tiers of difficulties, so making sure that each tier of each puzzle is well balanced is quite the challenge when dealing with 20 puzzles, as you can imagine. In one of our many recent efforts to begin tackling balancing, we've now added 0 stats. Initially, each agent had a value between 1 and 5 for each of the 5 stats, which didn't give us too much wiggle room in regards to variation. Also, having agents with 0 stat values doesn't necessarily negate their effectiveness, as it is still possible to rely on action points or gear card usage. We're presently quite busy preparing our demo. This will initially be accessible to the press and influencers as well as theme curators, but we are planning on making the demo publicly available shortly after. Follow us on social media or hop on our Discord for more details. If you're a member of the press or an influencer, feel free to get in touch directly. These are just some of the many mechanics that we're currently working on. So, thanks for watching, and make sure to wishlist Rough Justice 84.